Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Evening Devotion. So if I sound different, it's because I'm trying out a new Bluetooth. I had one, I always try to use one on my mower, keeps the sound down, and I can listen to music or whatever. Or if I'm traveling, something comfortable to wear to answer calls if I'm in a vehicle that the phone won't connect to, or that has a stereo that it won't connect to. Um, so I'm trying this new one. It's an industrial one for job sites and workplaces. Has noise canceling and stuff like that. So it may sound very different than the other one. You guys let me know how it sounds, even compared to the other one in the comments. I'm just trying it out to see how it records on the videos. I'll probably go back to the other one, but we'll see. So tonight we're going to be update. My dad is home and he feels better. They said that because of the rhythm of the wave for his heart, for his AFib, it's probably going to come back. But he's on the list for a new procedure they've come up with that fixes it permanently, and they're just waiting on the piece of equipment they need to be able to do the procedure. And he's on the list for that now. So we got him stable, and we got him home. He's got his meds, and we'll see where things go from there. Again, thank you everybody who prayed. Thank you everybody who was along for this ride. The Lord answered immediately, and we'll see where it ends up from here. So tonight we're going to be reading out of Nehemiah 3:15, the king's garden. This is a big verse, actually. Here it is. The whole verse says, Shallun, the son of Colhozeh, leader of the district of Mizpah, repaired the fountain gate. He built it, covered it, hung its doors and its bolts and bars, and repaired the wall of the pool of Shelah by the king's garden, as far as the stairs that go down from the city of David. So there's a lot here. This is a thing where they had all come back from their first exile in Babylon and were coming back and were rebuilding Jerusalem. So let's go up here. So it's just a whole bunch of these guys and what they're doing. Verse 10, next to them being Rephias, the son of Hur. Next to them, Jediah, the son of Harumaph, made repairs in front of his house. And next to him, Hattush, the son of Hashabniah, made repairs. Malachijah, the son of Harim, and Hashab, the son of Pahath-Moab, repaired another section, as well as the tower of the ovens. And next to him was Shallum, the son of Halahesh, leader of half the district of Jerusalem. He and his daughters made repairs. Hanun and the inhabitants of the Zenoah repaired the valley gate. They built it, hung its doors with its bolts and bars, and repaired 1,000 cubits. Keep in mind, a cubit is 18 inches. Repaired 1,000 cubits of the wall as far as the refuse gate. Malachijah, the son of Rechab, leader of the district of Beth Hakarim, repaired the refuse gate. He built it and hung its doors with its bolts and bars. Shallun, the son of Colhozeh, leader of the district of Mizpah, repaired the fountain gate. He built it, covered it, hung its doors with its bolts and bars, and repaired the wall of the pool of Shelah by the king's garden, as far as the stairs that go down from the city of David. After him, Nehemiah, the son of Azbuk, leader of half the district of Beth Zur, made repairs as far as the place in front of the tombs of David, to the man-made pool, and as far as the house of the mighty. After him, the Levites under Rehum, the son of Bani, made repairs. Next to him, Hashabiah, leader of half the district of Keilah, made repairs for his district. After him, their brethren under Bavai, the son of Henadad, leader of the other half of the district of Keilah, made repairs. And next to him, Ezer, the son of Jeshua, the leader of Mizpah, repaired another section in front of the accent to the armory at the buttress. After him, Baruch, the son of Zabbai, carefully repaired the other section from the buttress to the door of the house of Eliashib, the high priest. And it goes on and goes on and goes on all the repairs they had made. Mention of the king's garden by Nehemiah brings to mind the paradise which the King of Kings prepared for Adam. Sin has utterly ruined that fair abode of all delights, and driven forth the children of men to till the ground which yields thorns and briars unto them. My soul, remember the fall, for it was thy fall. When we were born, we were born in that original fall. Weep much because the Lord of love was so shamefully ill-treated by the head of the human race, of which thou art a member, as undeserving as any. Behold, how dragons and demons dwell on this fair earth, which once was a garden of delights. See yonder another king's garden, which the king waters with his bloody sweat, Gethsemane, whose bitter herbs are sweeter far to renewed souls than even Eden's luscious fruits. There the mischief of the serpent in the first garden was undone. There the curse was lifted from earth and borne by the woman's promised seed. My soul, bethink thee much of the agony and the passion resort to the garden of the olive press, and view thy great Redeemer rescuing thee from thy lost estate. This is the garden of gardens indeed, wherein the soul may see the guilt of sin and the power of love, two sights which surpass all others. Is there no other king's garden? Yes, my heart, thou art, or shouldst be such. How do the flowers flourish? Do any choice fruits appear? Does the king walk within and rest in the bowers of my spirit? Let me see that the plants are trimmed and watered, and the mischievous foxes hunted out. We know the mischievous fox seems to be a reference to little sins. Come, Lord, and let the heavenly wind blow at thy coming, that the spices of thy garden may flow abroad. Nor must I forget the king's garden of the church. O Lord, send prosperity unto it. Rebuild her walls, nourish her plants, ripen her fruits, and from the huge wilderness reclaim the barren waste, and make thereof a king's garden. I can tell you this, that when the Lord comes and collects his church, we go to see heaven and what he has been building for 2,000 years. And then when that is done, we return with him when he comes to take his kingdom. We get to come and see what he's going to do to this earth and how he is going to repair what's been destroyed. Make the earth a garden again. The prophecies say that people will beat their weapons into plowshares. They're going to blacksmith them down into plowshares. There's going to be no need for weapons. There's going to be no need for fighting. Peace will reign supreme. And there will be no need after that. The Lord will deal with any battles that happen at the end, and there's going to be one. The Lord deals with it. He takes care of it. He puts to rest any and all dissent with one mighty move of his hand. And so we will see the result of all this in a physical form, but we can see it now in a spiritual form. What is the garden of our heart? What is the fruit that's being produced from our actions, from our lifestyle, from our confession, from our prayers? What flowers are being born? The rose of Sharon should be growing in the garden of our heart because the Lord should be there. If we're saved, he is. It is. The lily of the valley. And this is all part of that sanctification process. This is all the development of sanctification in the believer over their lifetime. You guys know that, I got saved in 1998. And it was 20 years and the Lord put me in this ministry. 20 years of me wandering back and forth. But what I didn't realize was that the Lord was tilling the soil. He was getting the rocks out. He was rooting up the weeds. Around here we have this process where they'll go out into fields because weed-satch takes over any fields that people leave alone. And it looks like a mesquite tree, but it's not. But it grows everywhere. So they do a process called grubbing, and they go and they grub the weed-satch out to get it out of the ground and get the root. They get the main part of the root out of the ground. That keeps it from coming back. You can also cut it, keep it cut down, and they'll keep it down too. But they'll go and they'll grub up those weed-satch trees. They got tools for it. They got equipment for it. Most people do it by hand. See, the Lord was doing that 20 years, prepping the soil for now, getting it ready to be planted. And planted he did, and he continues to do it. And so when he does that for each of us, after that's planted, after those seeds he plants grows, seeds of faith, seeds of truth, seeds of everything, then the harvest comes. And he's able to bring in a harvest of good fruit. A tree is supposed to bear good fruit. If it doesn't bear good fruit and bears bad fruit, as the Bible says, it will be cut down and thrown into the fire. And so we bear good fruit, and we can witness this garden spiritually in ourselves, in what is the produce or the product of our salvation in our individual lives. Again, we go back to evidence of salvation. What is the result of your salvation? Is there anything visible? Is there anything viewable that you can point to and say, well, here's an evidence of my salvation, that I am walking with the Lord as best I can? And that can be humility, that can be trust, that can be truth, that can be forgiveness, love, peace, joy, an uncontrollable desire and hunger for the word, a love for other souls, a desire for other souls to share the truth with them. And all this stuff is all produce from that garden, that spiritual garden in our heart. And I think this is what he's getting at. That garden is not our garden, it's his. And he's the one that works it, and he's the one that bears the fruit. He just does it through us. And what's amazing is that he has seen fit to grace us with giving us the reward from it whenever we enter into heaven. And so all this is by design. All this stuff, even the fruit that you bear, the good fruit you bear from your trials, from your tribulations, from your sufferings, from your endurances, from you walking and trusting in faith. All that stuff, we all receive the benefit of it. Not only in this life, but certainly in the next one, and to a greater degree. And so this life is the working of the soil. The next one is the harvest of all that work, the harvest of what the Lord has done in each one of us, because he will bring us to that day of redemption, will redeem us, will finish the work he started in us, and we will stand in heaven with him, because that's what he said would happen. That's what his promise was. We can take him at his word. But can we look at the King's Garden now in ourselves, in each one of us? Can we see the result of what he's doing? And this isn't an opportunity to judge somebody else or to pass judgment on somebody else, but can we look and see the result of him working in us? Or do we see the result of us trying to do it instead? See, when you go back in the Bible, especially like the book of Ruth, you look at the book of Ruth, and then you go into the New Testament and see when Jesus was talking to that Samaritan woman, not the one at the well, but the other one. And he said, well, why should I give the bread to the king's, give the bread that goes to the king's children to little dogs? He said, well, even the dogs get the crumbs. And you go to Ruth and you see Ruth never partook of the bulk of the field, but Ruth gleaned. And so we glean those fields that he is growing in us. We get those little crumbs of what he is doing in us. A lot of people don't catch that stuff in the scriptures. It's a little thing, and it just dawned on me now, so that's why I said it, because it literally just came to mind. But that's leading along those same lines, that we don't go out there and do the plowing. We can put our hand to the plow, but it's the Lord that does the plowing. It's the Lord that leads us. It's the Lord that's doing the work. We can't hardly plant the seed in our own hearts. He does. And we can't bring in the harvest. He's the one that brings in the harvest. He's the one that comes and reaps. He's the one sitting with a sickle in his hand, ready to reap. And the angels tell him, reap, for the harvest is ripe. That's in the book of Revelation. And so while we glean, let us look to Boaz, look to the Lord. While we collect up those little crumbs, let's thank the Lord and be thankful and show how great a faith he is developing within us by believing him, trusting him, looking to him. And instead of us making it about us, instead of us playing it off on our own works or what we think we're doing, let us look to him and rely on his work and what he has done already. Because if it wasn't for him 2,000 years ago dying on the cross, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I dare say that the world probably wouldn't be here anymore if it wasn't for Jesus Christ. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name, and I'll see you in the next video.